Hey everybody, Tommy here, World at War Comics, and my next guest is my good friend Christie Shinn, here to talk about not only Demon Bitch, which is her amazing graphic novel, which is about to be put into an omnibus. We're talking about her Kickstarter, which will be starting in the next month or so, but we're also here to talk about the Asian Invasions, which takes place July 12th in Glendale, California. So make sure that you head out there and check it out. It's going to be amazing. A lot of amazing creators are going to be there. Without further ado, here is Christy and I hope you enjoy. Well, everyone, welcome to World at War Comics. My next guest, Miss Christie Shinn, writer extraordinaire, Demon Bitch. We have the Asian Invasion coming up in July. But before we jump into that, Christy, how have things been for you?
Oh, they've been busy. I would say it's been more of observing the world than anything else because this world can right now is full of drama and it's kind of interesting to look. So it's like I've just kind of had to kind of like go and take a look at how things expand and go, especially like I know we have the all two at this time of recording dealing with the tariffs. I think we're dealing with the aftermath. Like finally they've stabilized a lot. I know one of the prime ones was negotiating with China regarding that. And it's a lot more complex because it's not just one set interest rate or tariff rate. It's like when I look down the line, it's like through many, many different things. So it's not just one number. So I had to kind of watch the climate as well as the Kickstarter climate and, the con climate and everything and the economy. And it looks like it's kind of stabilizing out. So that's good. And hopefully in the Kickstarter, I can organize that in the next 1 to 2 months. So yeah, just a lot of things hit and it was a lot of crazy things happening.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of crazy things happening, and like any business person, you got to look at all those details, and they have not made it easy to kind of figure out the way that they are kind of divvying up the tariffs per like segment of the economy. It gets a little confusing, and it's not just with China. Every single country, like it's 0% on this item of your economy, 10% on this item. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if you're like a global company, how you're man you got to have like a whole team just managing where everything is, I would think right now.
Right, right. I mean, it's like also a lot of companies are moving their headquarters to the US to avoid them.
Yeah,
So that actually kind of works out for us in some ways or another.
sure.
But yeah, and it's also like, we've had a lot of the stuff go down here, protests, riots, whatever. It's interesting to me. And it's interesting also watching it because people have been going on the ground and actually because you have a lot of people with their e-bikes riding around those areas and kind of showing you.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of interesting there too.
Crazy times, that is for sure. That is
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of like keeping to your own stuff and working on your own thing and
Yeah.
helping it build your own material. And that's what I'm going on. But I'm not really concerned over it like it is what it is. Like with anything, you have to navigate a climate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about Asian invasion. How many years running has this been going on now?
It's been running, I think we got out of COVID, what, 2021?
2021.
So I would say about 3 to 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah, right now we've moved it to 712 for at the Martial Arts History Museum in Glendale, which
Mhm.
is great because it's a great space. So admission is free. We have a lot of artists lined up and we're lining them up as we go. And I've been throwing that out of Asian Invasion events. That's on our Instagram. I think it's Asian Invasion EV or something like that. You can Google us and all that, and I can provide links.
Yeah.
And what it is that you can just go, there's a lot of really talented people, and I try to scope out people who are up and coming to, they've been established to some people. I wouldn't say just starting. I mean, I think at these events, you have to have some tabling or some sort of crowd experience just because, it's just one of those things like, I want you to really be able to showcase and have your A game down and everything. So, I mean, that's going to be fun that way on that level too. So, I'm excited. It's a free event and we'll see how it works out and everything. And the artists are all excited about it and they're pretty happy about it. And, I provide the table to the artist for free, like the actual space.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough tables, so we got to bring your own. But, it's a kind of a nice space. And I think it's a nice break for a lot of artists instead of paying money for a con, X amount of dollars. Not that they don't deserve it, but they're just like, economy right now. So it's like sort of what I try to do in Asian Invasion is provide a way for Asian creators to make money in a time where it kind of sucks. Like, because at the time, my friends, when I first started Asian Invasion, like the cons were shutting down due to the Omicron variant of COVID, and it was really shitty. And I saw them all sad and depressed, so I just decided to make one. I said,
Nice.
fuck it, let's make it. We made it, and it was for free for the artists. And, it was in a comic store, so obviously admission is free. And, it was good. So I just kept running it and running it and running it. And there was a NorCal one because of the climate right now, it's been kind of chaotic
Yeah.
to run one. So it's like at this one, at least I can find a peaceful thing with the Martial Arts History Museum. And it's actually funny because I know martial arts is not exclusively for from Asia,
Mhm.
but it's how Asians were got to be really on the center stage or one of the big things on the center stage.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's like, so this is has a lot of like really nice artifacts from people living and or dead, movie props from notable series like Big Trouble in Little China, things like that. So, and they showcase a lot of Pacific Islander and Asian martial arts, but they also showcase like other martial artists a little bit. Like they had, I think they don't, they have some Armenian ones because it's in Glendale, but they have a few others. Like they're opening up, I think, an Irish one, but I think they're building that right now. But they have a pretty extensive collection. It's a great space. It's a good overall snapshot of Asian culture in America, at least. And they've showcased off like in little exhibits, like from Hapkido to Taekwondo to karate to like I forgot the one for the Philippines. They have Philippines. They have ones for Maori, things like that. So it's really pretty cool. And then obviously Chinese Kung Fu, basically, and all the other things. I mean, they talk a lot about a lot of stuff. It's like a very cool little space. It's very expansive. Michael is the guy that owns the space and event. He's very cool dude, and it's worth checking out. It's a fun little event.
That's awesome. Well, I'll make sure the address is below for anybody listening. That's July 12th in Glendale. So make sure you get over there. It's at the Martial Arts History Museum. So we'll make sure we have everything below to make it really easy for people to get over there. But it sounds exciting. I wish I still lived in SoCal because I would love to go to that. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like Glendale's nice, and it's like there's a lot of like cool eateries nearby that it's kind of funny. There's a Max's of Manila, and then there's like Kamtu Pop, which is like onigiri. Onigiri itself is Japanese, the rice ball, but it's Korean fusion. They also have a Jin Cook, which is Korean over there. They have Portos. There's an 85 degrees like literally around the corner.
Oh,
Of
wow.
course, unfortunately you cannot eat bringing food or drink inside because it is a museum, but if you want a snack later, the event is 12 to 5, so you can go ahead and grab a snack before. Porto's always looks crowded, and it is, but they're really friggin' efficient moving you through. So I suggest the handballs and the chicken croquettes to start.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
they have
see
the
you've been
guava
there
cheese
before.
stuff. Hmm?
I see you've been there before.
Oh, many times. I've
Yeah.
been. It's great because it's like when I tell people, I'm like, oh shit, there's Porto's there, okay, and they'll just go because the Porto's like another excuse for us to go to Porto's. That's it.
I love it.
And yeah, it's funny because it's like a lot of the Filipino diaspora in Glendale will go over there, even though it's technically a Cuban bakery, but it's like it's big amongst the Filipino community here. So they're like, oh. There's also Max's in Manila here too. And the seafood city, like, oh, there's a seafood city there and everything. They're really happy about that too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a nice area. I love Glendale. It is a pretty nice town too. What other cons are you doing this year, Chris? You're going to be at San Diego, right?
I will be at San Diego. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right now, I
It's
mean,
going to
I'm
be
kind of
N05, we said, right? N05?
in yeah, like Nigel dash oh 05 in small press.
Yeah, nice. What else you got planned this year for cons? You usually
Oh
do a
God,
pretty good tour of cons.
yeah. It's like right now I'm kind of like iffy on that because, like as I said, the current political climate has been kind of weird and the economic climate has been weird for cons. I'm seeing what comes my way.
Okay.
I'm planning for it, whatever it is. I mean, right now it's like in the meantime, I'm building other stuff up and
Mhm.
getting that going. So since Asian Invasion I put together, it's like, okay, have a little extra money because some of you guys are going to be down in San Diego, so why not?
Yeah.
Other times it's like some people couldn't do San Diego for one reason or another. So it's like, there you go make your thing. And they're happy about it. And it's like it's one of those things. It's like kind of I don't want to say pet project. I think it's kind of gone beyond that, but
Yeah.
it's done a thing. So it's like, it's been pretty good there too. So
Nice.
been happy about it and excited about that. as I said, it's kind of been weird because it's like cons have been kind of, I don't want to like say anything bad. It's just cons, it's been tough for people because
Mhm.
it's just like the economy was called all iffy the first part of this year.
Yeah.
Some people like they anticipated certain numbers and that didn't happen. And it's kind of like, I don't think it's any of the con runners' fault. It's just more of
Yeah.
just how everything is just up and down, up and down, up and down.
Makes
And
sense.
then, like if there was an IGN live, but then, we had quite a lot of things happening in Los Angeles, and that actually hurt business in IGN live, according to some vendors. Now, I don't want to be like bad mouthing IGN. It's just the
Yeah.
environment. It was just like, I mean, LA, downtown LA had a curfew. So it's like,
Exactly.
what can you do? Like, you can't just like relax and hang out and do your thing at a con. So I kind of get it. So it's sort of been like more of introspective work for me and building other things up and getting that going. And it's just kind of like seeing what comes my way. But I know what I can do, what I can be in complete control now is just doing my Kickstarter or just seeing what's going on with the trend. So am doing a Kickstarter. Normally, I'm very on the dot of what it is, but because of the tariffs and how the tariffs affected everybody, I've been kind of like seeing when it would calm down. So
Mhm.
hopefully in a month or two, you guys can sign up for the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's mostly done. As I said, I was waiting on certain prices for the right time to price things. So when it's stable, you guys you can have the you can have it done. I'm
Yeah.
looking at about a month or two to launch it, but it is up in the air still. I want to see it when things stabilize a lot more because I know it's been tough for a lot of people with Kickstarter lately as well. And that some of them have very good properties, some of the
Yeah.
books are excellent, but I know some people have been holding off because they want to see when it'll expand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I'll put the link down there below. So although you don't have an exact date yet, you still get over there, hit the notify button. Doesn't cost you a dime. All you do
Mhm.
is you'll get a little note in your email stating that it's live when it does go live. So I would encourage everybody to get over there and just hit the button where it says saved right here. It'll say notify me. Just click that and you're all set. That's all you have to do. And then when Chrissy does go live, you'll get a little email saying, "Hey, it's up. You could go ahead and get Demon Bitch Stupid Things right now." And this is your
Right.
sixth graphic novel under this banner, under this
Yeah,
title.
it is a graphic novel, and then I'm doing an omnibus. So like one of them is Dumbass Express. That's a sixth graphic novel,
Yeah.
and then the omnibus is called The Most Mediocre Collection Ever.
I love you, man. You always have the most awesome names for everything. I love it.
Well, I think it's just because I have the attention span of a gnat. So it's like I have to write something that excites me, and I'm like thinking, okay, I'm going into Kickstarter. I have all this shit to look at.
Yeah,
What is it that I need to do? And
right.
it's like, and I want to read something, but I want to read something quick and easily, but I want to be amused. So I would just write if I was like trying to make myself laugh. That's what I would always do with my pitches because you have to talk about the stupid thing like a million times. And it's like when I say stupid, I'm not denigrating anybody's product. It's just like literally after a while, I'm pretty sure all of us have been like, okay, let's do this again. So I try to write something that I know I'd laugh over and over again because sometimes your brain will fixate on things and laugh stupidly about that. So I try to go with that energy because it seems to amuse other people.
It does for sure. That's one good thing about reading any of your titles. I always walk away smiling. I always enjoy them so much. I mean, what a work that you've been able to produce to be able to put an omnibus together. I think like down deep, anybody who's creating comics, their goal is to one day to have enough material to have a nice thick book of all their work. And here you are producing it. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of like, dang. But it's just like sometimes it's like weird because it's like people just say to me, I work really hard, but I'm just like, I kind of don't think about it because I just do it. It's just like, okay. So I don't know if this is my year to kind of weirdly take a break. I have no idea because it's like, as I said, with cons, it's been slow a little bit, but it's like maybe that's not so bad because it's like I'm not going to a con and then, and again, this is no fault of any con. It's just
Yeah.
the economic expectations of everything have been kind of curtailed a lot because of tariffs and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, well, just go with it. It's like, okay, well, if I don't go to one, here's A, B, and C costs that I don't need to pay. So I
Right.
can funnel it to this or do whatever. So, I mean, you just have to kind of go with it sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Fingers crossed San Diego is good. I did go to Dallas Fan Expo now that I live out here in Texas. It's It's about 4 hours from me, but I stayed in a hotel and it was actually packed. So
Mm.
fingers crossed that San Diego, which is probably 4 times as big as Dallas Fan Expo, and Dallas Fan Expo is, I think, is the biggest in the state, or it's like the second biggest. But San Diego is just it's a beast. And so fingers crossed that it's really packed. I know Marvel said they're going to be there this year. I know DC's going to be there. They got Peacemaker season 2 coming out, obviously with Marvel with Fantastic Four. You got
Mm.
Superman coming out from DC. So I feel like that'll bring at least a little bit of excitement. That doesn't always translate into comic book sales, unfortunately, like you would hope it would, but there'll be a lot of people there, hopefully, and you never know.
Well, I know like the thing with Diamond affected a lot of people, but I
Absolutely.
noticed that a lot of the major comic book publishers like DC and Marvel kind of saw what was going on or whatnot, or they thought it more economic to go in-house. I'm only speculating. I do not know like the deep rooted ends into it. But I think like because they transitioned to their respective houses where I think DC has Marvel, I mean, sorry, DC has Lunar
Yeah.
and
Marvel has
Marvel
Penguin.
has Penguin House, Random
Yes.
House, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like completely done in-house with those contracts. And unfortunately, some of the other people that were caught with Diamond. Now, I think with Image, I think they branched off into different aspects. Like I think they
They're
went
with
to,
Lunar now.
oh, they're with Lunar 100%. Okay, because
100%. Yeah. So what I understand is a lot of comic shops owed Diamond money, and then Diamond owned a bunch of publishers' money. And DC was already having issues with Diamond, and that's when they broke off and went with Lunar. They were the first one. And then Image, who was owed, I think, $9 million from Diamond, was upset, so they could cut the bleeding of Diamond owing them money. They left. So and then there was just a domino effect after that. Everyone knows the story after that, but yeah, it's been really tough, mainly for independents. So I
yeah.
know Massive Publishing. You could reach out to them with your title if you're an indie. And they can't take everybody that Diamond once had, but they've been taking on a lot of the smaller press and utilizing their massive brand to help them get into Lunar because Lunar's being very picky and choosy who they're working with. So it's not very easy as an independent to distribute through them, but you could go through Massive, who goes through Lunar to make it a little easier, and then they'll manage kind of the smaller brands. So,
Yeah, because I'm going through ICB2 and they were run
oh,
by Capital, or one of the guys from Capital runs it. They've been
oh,
very nice. And but it's domestic only. But
yeah,
it's like, I mean, I can grow later or they can grow later. We can work on that. So it's like we'll see how that works out
that's
and go
awesome.
from there. Yeah, yeah. So it's like any LCS that wants to give it a try, there you go. I can't sign them personally, but I can have them printed and sent to the
Okay.
people involved and everything. So I'm not really so I think like I am prepared that way. I was kind of hesitant to drop on Diamond just because certain numbers I had didn't seem to fit with or coincide with what Diamond could give me. So I just was like, let's see.
Yeah.
And then when I saw like because like I had seen like I just catch things here and there and I look at them. So it's like with the whole Diamond, even how it's reported on it, it's been very confusing who's acquiring them now. Like they first had Alliance get it, which was a Canadian company, I think. Now
Right.
it's like Pop something, I forgot.
Yeah, I got an email today. I was going to try and pull it up real quick while we were talking about it. But yeah, I got an email today from Diamond. Let's see. I don't know if I could find it now. But yeah, something came across from Diamond and it was kind of giving me the rundown of, hey, we're back. Everything is back on track. I'm like, might be a little late for that. A lot of people have already moved over to Lunar. But
Well, I think also like the thing is, so if they moved over to Lunar, so which kind of makes sense because like if Image moved over to Lunar, Jim Lee is one of their alumni, so they moved over to Lunar probably because of that.
yeah.
At the time when I saw the article, it was like they moved to Lunar UK or something, or parts of them, but they
Oh,
still stayed like, but again, if they all moved to Lunar, they all moved to Lunar. It's just at the time I saw this like fragmentary thing a year or two ago, but I'm
mhm.
sure it's changed a lot now. I hadn't seen anything else about it.
I
But
think
yeah,
you're right. I know at the very beginning they were talking about, um, I believe that Diamond had sold their UK division before they went into bankruptcy, knowing that they were about to go into bankruptcy. And I know they were working with the third party on their toys division, the Diamond Select
yeah.
Toys. But then the Diamond Select toys that fell through, that came back to Diamond, and then all of a sudden we have this like circling businesses that are saying we bought them, no, we bought them, and that's where I got really confused. I'm not sure who owns them now.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
really
it's been very
confusing.
kind of strange because usually you'd know. Like you,
Yeah.
these would be pretty, I mean, even though they're complicated, it's like you can disseminate it into something more clear.
Hmm.
But when I
Yeah.
look at it, it's just like I'm very confused at what they're trying to do. Like, sorry, my jaw's clicking. But yeah, it's not like a legal brief from SCOTUS or something that you actually have to sit down and tear through.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, law, like corporate law or business law is any less difficult, but
Yeah.
usually when I read articles about businesses being acquired or something, is
Yeah.
disseminated into a lot quicker and a lot more palatable sense. So I'm actually surprised in this way around why it's like very complex and it really doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
So I find that very curious in itself. So I'm going to have to, as they say in Stranger in a Strange Land, grok that some more because I
I'll
am
have to
grok
dig into.
because I found it weird.
Yeah, I did too. I'll have to dig into it too because it doesn't make sense. But
Yeah, like I've even read the article. I'm like, what the fuck did I just read?
yeah, I have
It's
no
not
idea
just
what I read
one.
either.
Yeah, it's not just one. It's like several of these guys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like I understand like it's law, and I'm not trying to be like, oh well, I'm being dumb, but it's like usually like a lot of news agencies will actually try to simplify it
Yeah,
or
break it down for me.
explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, so we don't know, but
Tell
we
me
don't.
like I'm seven, like Michael from The Office. Tell me as if I was seven.
Yeah, and I'm just reading it, it's like, but it's like confusing to me too. And I'm like, it's all over the place. Like, oh yeah, Alliance got them, but yet they didn't, and all this other stuff. And then now it's like pop, I forgot this, like pop something.
It's
And
pop something. I know that. You're right.
yeah, yeah. And it's like they got it. Now we don't know because we're going broke and shit. And I'm like, okay,
And do you
this
have it?
level
Do you have
this
it?
level of yeah, this level of business fuckery is a little weird, like even with like really complex things, like even if you watch it in the news, you could actually kind of figure it out. But this one, it's like, yeah, we're telling you it's this, but yet it's not this and it's that. It's like I think some just big stuff is going down personally, and they don't want to be they're intentionally obfuscating everybody to because I think people want to acquire the sources Diamond has.
Yeah.
Like, despite shit happening with Diamond, they do have the resources and the distribution. So I'm guessing whatever date, I think it's basically the data that people want with Diamond, like the selling data, the contacts, everything. Um, I don't know how it's affecting LCSs now because they seem to be getting their stock, but I know it's been kind of this weird ass struggle that has I know it's been difficult, but I just don't know how clear it's been made to me or anybody else. And I'm not saying that to be lame. I just
Yeah.
am not sure because they're managing to do their stocks, but it's kind of messing up a lot of people's distribution. And
Yeah.
I've had people explain to me kind of like how comic stores are distribution works, but
Hmm.
it's kind of a convoluted system too.
Yeah.
It's very odd. And like with other distribution companies, at least the one that I work with, it seems more straightforward. But
Yeah.
I know there was like a system of crediting and reselling, or they had to buy a certain amount of certain books,
Hmm.
and then they would be credited with the ones they didn't sell, but they didn't do that with everybody. So it was like this whole complicated tiered system. And again, I'm not the ultimate on that. You might have to ask other LCS owners to get the scoop on that, but it's just like I know it's been kind of screwy for everybody. So
Yeah. I just know because I go every Wednesday to get my comic books.
mm,
I know that Lunar delivers Thursday or Friday the week before for anything that comes through Lunar, which is
mhm,
now Image, DC, and quite a few larger small publishers.
mm.
But on Diamond, they don't come until Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, the day of Wednesday. So my comic shop, who actually has a great working relationship with Diamond and likes Diamond, they're very frustrated with them because they're constantly stalking your Wednesday, comics like 2 or 3 hours into Wednesday when people come by to pick up their comics, which causes their customers to have to come back a second day, which, pisses off everybody. So I'm glad they're still around. I hope that there is a buyer because a lot of small publishers depend on them. But it sounds like they have some things still to iron out as a company for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of obfuscation on a lot of businesses' part, and by the way, I'm not implying dishonesty
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm saying that sometimes in business, people do not reveal all the things that they do or what they're
Absolutely.
planning to do.
Yep.
Um, they kind of just have to be that way. And again, it sounds like the weirdest thing, but it's like looking at how confusing this diamond thing is. Even when I sat down and really looked at it, it really didn't answer certain things.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm not gonna like get into like, is this good or bad? I know it's been difficult for a lot of people to adjust, like people
A lot
that
of
I've
people.
known in the indies industry, indie comics and stuff like that, that have used Diamond. It's just this whole, and it's whatever Diamond worked for them, but it's very weird all around.
Yeah.
And I just like, well, I guess something's being done. It's like I just can't tell what because they're kind of throwing a lot of stuff in the air and you're not really sure what's going to come down if you don't know if this is rumor, this is BS, or this is not important, or what's like a good factor on it. It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we were owned by this company, but they're not, but yet we are owned by this company, but we're not. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like you could say which pieces are owned by this company and another company. You could easily separate them, but it's written in such a way that's very confusing. And I know it's Maryland law, and I've been told Maryland law is very strange,
Uh,
but I don't know. I'm just thinking that's very strange. I don't know if they're one of the King's Bench states.
mm,
King's Bench is a certain power that certain courts have, like
okay.
Pennsylvania, California, New York. I think Wisconsin does too. And it's just like
Mm.
a special provision. And I've even tried reading into it, and it's like a certain jurisdiction that or a certain power they can invoke
Oh
in an
wow.
emergency. And it's kind of hard to explain. I am not a lawyer, guys. But it's just I think Maryland is one of those states, I believe. I'll have to look it up again, but I've been told Maryland law is kind of weird too. So I'm like,
That's probably adding to the confusion then.
yeah, I mean, they're based in Baltimore, I think. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, crazy times everywhere. It feels like
right.
we're getting bombarded from every direction right now on all the craziness going on in the world.
Yeah, I think people are a bit overwhelmed. So it's like that's why I've been kind of like staying back and kind of seeing what's there because I think also people may not be up for buying because they're genuinely confused at all the shit in the world. Like literally, like everything is like, yeah, like that. So I'm just kind of like seeing when it calms down, the smoke clears, but I'm just working towards that day until
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah. And my artist for my comic lives in Moscow. So
Oh shit.
yeah, I can't even get money to him. And then I lost
Wow.
contact for about maybe a month. He's doing good. Uh,
Good, good.
but missiles were flying into Moscow. I don't know how close they got to where he is at. I don't know. I've never been to Moscow, so I don't know the geography, but
Right.
we're back in contact now and back on track because we got 4 more pages left of my comic in order to get my comic done. And there's been a little bit of delay because of, understandably, your country's literally being bombed in a war. So I get it. And I have friends who have artists in Ukraine. There's actually quite a few awesome Ukrainian artists as well
Yeah.
in the same situation. They're just trying to make a living, and obviously, issues taking place in their part of the world is making it a lot harder to do, what was once simple.
Well, it's also kind of like a weird sort of thing too. Like we're kind of at a trade war with China, but we still talk to people.
Yeah,
So people don't think that it's a war of some sort. I said, you have to understand war has changed.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's no longer, okay, we bomb somebody else. I know that does still happen. And
yeah,
I'm not saying that's never going to happen, unfortunately, but I'm saying the mo new mode of war is finances and law
yeah,
because people don't really want to build their shit up from ground up physically anymore. They think it's cost too much. It's too much collateral damage. Actual warfare is useful in certain situations, but they're just like, nope, we're going to just do trade wars. And I think that's kind of the new mode we're switching out of
hmm,
now, like from like there's still massive industrial complexes, like they like to say, but I think we're transitioning because of things that are now in cyberspace, now in war, now in finances, everything is digital. We're evolving to that mode. It's like AI, like where do we go to adjust with this? How do we adjust to it?
yeah,
So it's like AI before was just this, oh, like dry stuff, whatever. Now it's gotten really good. And it's like, well, we can't stop AI, but what can we do to prune it so it works best for us?
hmm,
And so the thing is that AI is very good with research, I think,
hmm,
but as generative AI, like as an artist and such, that I do not agree with. I
yeah,
can understand like people writing out ideas and all that, but to kind of foment their own. I don't mean that you take it and you quote unquote copy paste from the AI.
Yeah.
because in a form way that's a form of plagiarization. I think why they're trying to argue the point with AI where it's like, oh, I'm just going to skim all this in one little setting and then I researched it, so I created it. It's like, well, you researched it and it made your research more efficient, but still you have to read this and disseminate it and you have to create what you need to create.
Yeah.
And I think people are kind of not doing that because AI itself is not perfect. So, like even when you look at like really good videos made with AI, there is still like some weirdness going on of how people follow the ragdoll physics, but it's scary how it all of a sudden popped up. So
Yeah.
I found that interesting. I mean, at this point in time, as an artist and as a creator, if I just do my own thing, I
Yeah.
think I'm okay
Yeah.
because my stuff is very distinctive and weird. It's not like the mainstream. So I think I'm okay for now.
Yeah.
But as I said, I do not on the whole hand support generative AI on that spit. But I understand it being used for research and
Yeah.
to see new things or to combine new ideas together. But should I go and make a mid-journey thing about the new Demon Bitch? I don't think so. No. And I think maybe the reason why how they're skirting that IP thing is like Disney owns the rights to, let's say, Mickey Mouse, right?
Mhm.
The recent iteration. So let's say if they use, I'm not saying they do, although I think I've heard that they found that they do, but I think what the studios are trying to do to cut down on labor costs is like, oh, what we're going to do is we're going to go and create this AI thing with our IP. So we're not actually cheating people out of anything. And that's how we can circumvent it of the copyright because we own the copyright to the actual IP itself. But
Yeah.
us generating stuff because we own the IP, we're not going to bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a weird can of worms in itself because then if people copy it, all they can bitch about is their IP, like Mickey Mouse being stolen, but the movie itself can't be copyrighted. I
Right.
mean, I'm not a copyright lawyer, but I'm seeing that's how they're trying to do that, or at least spam everything so much that it's just like overwhelming and they'll have to agree. But
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more developments in that. I think essentially when we're looking at stuff like this, it's for me, I think people want something original
Yeah.
and they're going to get kind of annoyed and bored with like it having the same certain look because
Hmm.
AI skims on mainstream styles. They
Yeah.
skim on the most prevalent things and integrate it.
Yeah.
And I think it will encourage artists in a way to break out and do completely their own thing rather than follow a certain style or rather follow a certain look. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just I think if they don't want to be copied or less likely to be copied or phased out, they may have to be doing something like that. And again, not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that's what I see probably the trend could be going right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how we manage AI. It's just going to get more and more, I think, powerful, more and more developed. It'd be really interesting to see what comics look like in the next 10 years. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but it's kind of scary to think that something is out there skimming all of the information, taking from artists to create another image. I don't know.
Personally, for me, I'm just like going, well, dumb, stupid comics can never be copyrighted or duplicated. Like the dumbest comics that I've seen that are funny, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, like Life in Hell, I don't think you could duplicate that
yeah,
easily. Like stupid actual dumb shit like you can't actually like duplicate very easily. I
yeah,
mean, if you want to build like another X-Men, unfortunately there's a lot of art there that can skim from. And I'm
yeah.
not trying to say this to dog anybody that does X-Men or justify,
Mhm.
the artwork being copied or skimmed, but it's just like I've
What else?
noticed it tends to go for more mainstream painterly kind of styles.
Sure.
But I don't really like going on witch hunts like, oh, you do digital painting, you must be doing AI. It's like, okay, first of all, it kind of has a certain look,
Yeah.
and people that actually digitally paint, they have their own look. And I'm
Mhm.
not here to just jump on them and out people. I've never been on that whole like ganging up on people type shit. It's not really usually accurate, and I think it's really stupid personally.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. And dangerous. And
It's very
dangerous.
abusive. I mean, like look at Ed Pisker. It's like
I was just
that should
thinking
have
him when you said that. Yeah.
yeah, like that should have kind of been assessed and run its course. But then, on the other hand, you have like the kiss assing of Neil Gaiman,
Mhm.
and now you just like because he's been under scrutiny by I think at least New Zealand authorities,
Yeah.
at least. I
At
don't know
least.
about English. I think American too.
Yeah.
Um, Along with Amanda Palmer and
Mhm.
looking at that dynamic, that took a while to build up.
Yeah.
But, and but with Ed Piskor, you just had these really piecemeal things. And I read some of the evidence against Ed Piskor, but I was willing to wait
Yeah.
till it happened because it didn't kind of, it could have gone either or, the stuff that I saw.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But
I
unfortunately,
feel like
opinions.
people just jumped on him without all the facts coming. And, all of us can handle that
Yeah.
type of scrutiny at different levels. And obviously, it surpassed what he was able to handle and it cost him his life. And I just think that is the
Well,
worst thing ever. And also, to this day, I don't think we're 100% clear on what happened. And this girl never came forward and said, I mean, you would think that this person would come, yes, this happened. And because it didn't, like, I don't know, I feel like that was a wasted situation of a life that didn't have to die. I don't know.
well, I mean, and also the thing is too, it's like to me what's disgusting to me is
Yeah.
that they all dogpiled on him just to do it. They didn't really care about the so-called victims if they were victims at all. And again, I'm
Exactly.
not trying to slut shame or victim shame. It just I wanted to see what sorted out.
Yeah, agree.
And unfortunately, the immature level of dogpiling grossed me out.
Yeah.
And I have vocally said that, like when people post about it, I said the dogpiling was gross.
Yeah.
It should have like all the evidence should have been out
Yeah.
because I've known people on both sides, like not known but personally, but or have known personally, people that they really did it and you saw it and you're like, yeah, fuck this person,
Yeah.
to oh, this person and this stuff was not good
Yeah.
and they were lied about. So it's sort of like you have to let it sort itself out.
Yeah.
And with Ed Piskor, it's like that was not allowed to happen.
Yeah.
And as I said, the dogpiling on that in itself, based on those allegations only, really bothered me on
Yeah.
a lot of levels.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
it
it
really bothered me
it
too.
was kind of like it was like they were waiting to shit on every aspect of him. And I'm like, you guys don't even know if this is like really a case or not.
Yeah.
But then those same people kind of kiss the ass of Neil Gaiman incessantly. So it was kind of a double standard. So I
Yeah, we
mean,
have one case where we actually have what three victims who have given details of what took place with them with Gaiman, and then we have this other issue where someone was mentioned. We have no details at all. Yet you pile on this guy, and
mhm.
you kiss the ass of this guy. Just it's sick.
Yeah,
It's gross.
yeah, yeah. And it's just like as I said, Gaiman has an extensive bunch of investigation against him. And again,
Yeah,
I have my own opinions of it, but my thing is like, you know what?
yeah,
I'm just going to go and see what the law, because the best thing you can do before you dogpile on things is let the law sort it out. You
absolutely.
really should, because it's like there is public opinion, there is the court of public opinion, but the thing is the evidence is the evidence.
Yeah,
And, I've seen too many of the thing where they just jump on it because the person says he said, she said, or that person is good at gaslighting, or they have their friends to gaslight, and it's not really a good thing. So I mean, it's just one of those things like I don't like wasting my time on shit like that. I mean, I will observe to kind of have an idea of
sure.
what is going on with the comics world and industries, but I don't really feel like it's a good thing to interfere with a legal process.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
You know,
couldn't
it's
agree
just
more.
it's not, because it's like if Ed Piskor was guilty, let it happen.
Yeah,
But if he was not, you essentially drove this dude to suicide. That was not cool, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's devastating. And to see
Yeah.
the family after that is just devastating. I don't know. But
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's
day,
really pretty not good. I mean, it's like it's not good, and I get it. Um, you know, and I don't know if there's any more that could be said about it. It's just it was sad.
yeah,
And as I said, even the people that I knew that thought he was guilty said more needs to come out before anything. And I said, okay, that's fair. And
yeah,
they didn't include on the dogpiling. It was just a bunch of jackasses that did it. And I'm like, you guys are assholes.
yeah,
And then only after when he killed himself, they said, well, we think about this. It's like, you guys should have thought of that before you started dogpiling on his ass, you pieces of shit. Like,
yeah,
I didn't really care to give them any sort of credence or any sort of care whatsoever in the fucking world. I was just like, you should have if
yeah,
there was any sort of legal repercussions or any more evidence, come out.
yeah.
You should not have fucking dogpiled on him. Now it's weighing on you.
Yeah.
And are you guys gonna do that the fuck again for clout?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that kind of pisses me off about some of this shit. It's like I understand drama is drama because we work in media, but also I'm at this point now too where I am kind of like, you know, comics are here to tell a story, and usually the WWE shit is not a good thing unless the other party fucking knows about it and is 110% in it. I understand drama can be drama and it can be exciting, but on the other hand, some of it's very fucking unproductive.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually dangerous.
It is. It's not very good.
Not very good at all. Not very good at all. Luckily, I mean, in my experience, it doesn't happen that often. So I feel like most people have a good head on their shoulders. And I don't know. I just feel like with social media, it's become an issue where it's so easy to do that. And you got to be careful with that. I don't know. We're all
Well,
human.
the thing is that we have to acknowledge, yeah, we want attention, we want clout. How do you want to go about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to go about it by just destroying other people because they'll turn on you. It will
Yeah.
come back to you.
Yeah.
But if you go out of your way to just go and do your work and do Saturday, I mean, I made fun of Labubu's as a joke, like on my Facebook, I think, because I was just thinking, those things are made out of vinyl. It's like I wonder if Labubu Collectibles ties into our own personal kinks slash fetishes by combining both vinyl and fur together, so that's why they sell so well. Because I was just being an asshole and I wanted to say it, but it's like it's not like I'm attacking somebody. It's just like,
Uh,
oh, hey, what about this? It's just being silly.
yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is that I think it's okay to say it's like this. It's only mean, sarcasm is only mean when the other person isn't in on it.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a time to be mean, but I think you should be pushed to be mean.
Hmm.
Like what I mean is that you can't be mean off the bat.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things that I don't like to jump being mean.
Yeah.
Although I had a fan come up to me one time and said, "I thought you'd be meaner in person." Like I'm kind of an asshole to everybody. It's just like I just write about shit that makes me angry. It's like, okay, I call it out, but I mean, I don't say, "Hey, so and so, you did this thing."
Yeah.
I just draw it as a cartoon,
Yeah.
like
Just to put
I
it
give
out
that
there,
person a
I've
chance
met
to,
you a few times in real life, and you're always so pleasant, Christy. You're always very
yeah,
pleasant. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's just like I try to be out of my way, like
Yeah.
it's like this. I one time I was waking up, and I think when I get older, I kind of allow myself to. What I've been told is with negative emotions, you invite them to sit at the dinner table with you.
Yeah.
You don't try to suppress them.
Yeah.
So like there was this time, it's like for the first time, I realized that I was grumpy and that was okay. Like
Yeah.
usually I was just happy or sad.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I was grumpy. But I was like feeling pissy. But then I just said, okay, I'm grumpy and pissy. That's fine.
Yeah.
And what was funny is that I was unusually very pleasant to people. It wasn't because I was trying to stamp down the grumpy and pissiness. It was more like, okay, I'm grumpy and pissy. I know where my limits are, and I'm just going to be okay with that. And honestly, it put less emotional pressure on me to be pleasant. It's just I was pleasant. And if I was done with things, I just said, okay, I'm going to go now. And it wasn't this whole like, I have to run away. It's more like, okay, I'm cool. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And and the person wouldn't have necessarily been doing anything wrong. It's just if I was grumpy as fuck,
Yeah.
I just didn't want them to deal with it. So it's like, okay, well, all right. I'll talk to you later. I got to go do something. Bye.
I love it.
That's all it is. It's just like,
Yeah.
if people like emotionally self-regulated better, I think it would be a better place.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it isn't until we get a little bit older we start to learn those lessons. I was pretty quick in my 20s to get ready
There's a
for
lot of, we were all kind
it.
of stupid in our 20s. What can I say?
Exactly.
That's
Also,
an inevitable thing.
I'm
Like
not
when
sure
you're,
it helps you having a comic book called Demon Bitch. I think people have
it's,
this perception like, wow, she must be really crazy to have a comic book named that.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like the craziness is just all in my comic.
I
Sorry,
know
I'm
exactly.
fucked up right here. Yeah, it's all in my comic. So it's
I
like
love
there's
it.
no reason why it should like, be a thing. But I just think it's funny when it does when people get like, oh, you must be this really mean person. I'm like, I get it out. It's kind of like when people draw like the most fucked up, hideous artwork, and then you talk to them, they're just like a normal person.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's like usually the people that draw really super cute stuff
Yeah.
I've found, and it's not every single one, but a good majority of people I've run into, and I don't know if it's just me, but people that draw the really cute shit, they've come from really horrific backgrounds, and you're like, wow. And that's kind of how they escape into. and
Yeah.
it's not very good. It's kind of sad actually. It's like they've had horrific childhoods or, just awful things have happened, and this is how they draw it. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen to people that draw fucked up things too, but it's kind of like it exercises their own demons, the people that draw the fucked up shit.
Yeah. It's a lot of truth to that, I think. A lot of truth to it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but
It is what
maybe
it
it's just
is.
an absolution.
All right, Christy. So on this Kickstarter, it is just volume six, or is it volume six and or the omnibus, or is there going to be a separate one for the omnibus?
So far I'm working on volume 6 and the omnibus.
Oh, okay.
So
Beautiful.
you can get both. I will offer digital ones because I know shipping can be a bitch to
Yeah.
people. And that's actually saved me at my Kickstarter quite a few times.
Yeah.
Also, I am getting other stuff taken care of, like the tarot deck. It is not Demon Bitch, but it's actually a real tarot deck. So I've been kind of debating on that. And like as I said, a lot of the companies I work with are domestic, but
Mhm.
since the tariffs, it's been kind of like spreading around on everybody. So I wanted the economic thing to settle before I started in on it. But it's like I've done a lot of the skeletal work to just sign up for that. And once I get that going, I'll get that going. I've run, what is it? Seven, almost like six successful Kickstarters.
Oh yeah.
And
No, you've done well.
yeah, yeah. So it's just I was waiting for the right time to do it. As I said, I was going to do it in February, then all this stuff happened, and you're just like, all right,
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait to see you at San Diego Comic-Con. I am
Yeah,
planning to be there for a couple of days, so I will definitely sweep by N05 in small press, and I will come say hi as I always try to whenever I know you're going to be somewhere.
definitely.
But Christy, as always, I love talking to you. I think we talked for like 45 minutes before we even hit record. The time was just flying. But I always enjoy catching up with you. We need to do this more often. I always have great
Oh,
conversations
definitely.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't know you moved to Texas. That's the thing. I was like, oh shit, I was like, because I like see your social media, but it didn't mention it, or at least how the algorithm is. It's like one of
Yeah.
those. So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I have two grandkids now, and they lived
Oh,
out here, and
congratulations.
they're 5 months and 1 year, so they're
Oh
little
wow.
enough to where I want to kind of be there. My wife and I want to be there as they're growing up a little bit. So we live within a mile of both of them, which is awesome. So they're here all the time, and grandkids are awesome. You play with them while they're happy, and then you give them back when they're sad. Don't have to
Yeah,
change
it's like I
diapers.
already raised you guys like
I'm
fuck it.
done.
Like
I did
that's
my
what we
part.
done.
I just get the fun
Right.
part. And I could bring, fun toys and I could spoil them and then I don't have the repercussions of it anymore. So I
Mm.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. But I hope to see you in San Diego, Christy. As always, I love talking to you. I'm glad that you
Mhm.
stopped by. Let's do this again when your Kickstarter actually goes live. So when you do figure
I'll
out,
let you know. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll let you know. Like I
absolutely. We
said,
can
it's
even do a,
been usually I'm more together about it. It's just like
yeah,
the
no,
economic
makes sense.
climate was crazy.
I think that's smart. I think that's really smart. So, but when the climate is right and you do go live, let's have you come back on and
Mhm.
everybody get over there and at least hit the notify button. Doesn't cost you anything. The link is below. And then when it does go live, we'll have Chrissy back and we can dig in a little bit more into the details of Volume 6 and the omnibus. But Christy, as always, I enjoy talking to you. Thanks for stopping by and hope you have a great week.
Mm. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right,
Thank
talk
you.
soon. You bet.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.